What's up YouTube, it's your boy Not For Reals, and on this video I'm going to be talking about why you are lonely and how you can actually solve this insidious problem of loneliness. Now, what does it mean to be lonely? Is it living alone on an island? Or is it spending 15 years of your life in solitary confinement in some washed up prison somewhere in California? Or is it being an anime fan surrounded by a multitude of anime unbelievers who think it's a complete and utter waste of time to be watching anime? Well, all these scenarios can lead to loneliness, but it isn't exactly quite loneliness. So if it isn't, what is? Now, there's a really unpopular term which is most times used interchangeably with loneliness, but they are completely different entities. Now, this term is called solitude. Now, solitude is basically the absence of human interactions, but that doesn't mean that you are lonely. You could actually be in the midst of a lot of people and still feel an acute sense of loneliness, or you could actually be all alone with just a book in hand and be at your most happiest state. That begs the question, what exactly is loneliness? Now, loneliness is actually, in fact, a feeling, and feelings of loneliness can vary from person to person. Now, what makes me feel lonely might be completely and utterly different from what might make you feel lonely. Now, if it's the case that loneliness is a completely subjective feeling, now why is it that it seems like every single year, more and more people actually complain about this problem of loneliness? Now, according to a survey done in the UK, 60% of 18 to 34-year-olds said they feel lonely, while in the United States, a whopping 46% of the entire population feel lonely regularly. Well, the answer to this is actually quite obvious, but still quite insidious and hidden. And please guys, don't forget to like the video if you like it and subscribe if you like this type of content. Now, let's continue. Now, I'm sure you may be wondering, what is this answer that I speak of? Well, the reason why we have a loneliness epidemic is because we have a relationship failure pandemic. Now, the internet has given us a lot of great things. We are more connected than we have ever been, probably ever since the human race came into existence. Through a small slab of glass in my hand, I can actually communicate with people who are literally miles away and even continents away. We have a plethora of people that we can interact with online, and if one interaction is not really going the way I want it, I can just go to a different person and have a much more interesting interaction. But the internet has also given us an abundance of superficial relationships that are all glittery on the surface, but don't really meet that ingrained psychological need in all humans for deep connection. Now, loneliness is in fact a feeling that stems from our evolution as humans. I'm sure you may be wondering, when things evolve, don't they evolve to be better? Why this nuisance of loneliness? Well, now when we're still basically living in caves and hunting for food and making weird noises to communicate, separation from your group or your tribe actually meant death, starvation, and for some out there, something a whole lot worse than death, the inability to mate and procreate. Now, seeing this problem, what did our brains do? Our brains evolved to actually signal when we lack connections with other humans. Thus, loneliness came into play. Now, loneliness is actually like almost every other evolutionary instinct that is created to keep us alive, like feelings of hunger or feelings of pain. The only disadvantage is that our brains don't really evolve as fast as technology. Literally, technology came just a few decades ago, and for our brains to evolve to match the pace at which technology is going is virtually almost impossible. And so we live in the 21st century with a prehistoric brain, but just a tiny bit smarter. Now, how do you go about solving this problem of loneliness? Now, the solution to this is actually quite simple. It's actually so simple that anybody can do it, even a 5-year-old. The problem is it's a bit difficult. Now, what is this? Basically, increase your interactions with other people. Now, instead of declining that invitation to go to a social event and then you sit in your room and scroll through Instagram for ungodly amounts of time, instead you can put the phone down and meet people and interact with people and try to build real and deeper connections with other people. Or instead of sitting down for hours on your couch watching Netflix, you can decide to go to a fitness club and meet other people and communicate and get healthier. Now, this is because loneliness actually stems from basically 3 things: not being seen, not being heard, and not being valued. Now, when you are not with other people, having deep emotional connections with those people, you actually do not get these three things: being seen, being heard, and being valued. And there's just so much Instagram and TikTok can do to solve that problem. Now, I hope this video gives you that push to actually be seen, to be heard, and to be valued by going out today and making stronger and deeper emotional connections with other people. And guys, question of the day: if there are things that you do to get yourself out of a loneliness rut, please put it down in the comments below so we can also be enlightened like you are. And guys, if you like this video, please like, and if you like this type of content, please subscribe. And before we say the phrase, if you like this video, you may like a video somewhere on the end screen. And yeah, remember to always keep it real. Bye guys.